This episode is brought to you by Bellator's Publishing, bringing stories to the world that last forever. She says, you sent that beast through to kill me. Yeah. And this is the thing that makes me think that Finran was the beast that he sent through. It's the fact that he said, you sent that beast through.
It seems there's like a first clue to tell us that yes, Finran was as well maybe a wolf. And Sarah said that she can see that this guard, they feel maybe ashamed with everything that's happening. These guards, maybe they did kind of like a oath with the king, giving like loyalty to the king because he did this. Now they're submitting to Belikon's order. Obviously, Edina told something to Belikon.
He just didn't like it.
Didn't believe her. And it's obviously for him like, no, that has to be a lie. So what could it be? Because I think maybe the potential lie could be that Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things Quicksilver.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we'll carry on with our deep dive of Quicksilver with chapters 40 to 42. And just heads up, we might use a strong language and explore adult themes.
This episode will contain spoilers from Quicksilver, the Kingfisher POV chapters on Callie Hart's website, and snippets of information we've had from Callie Hart herself.
And before we start, quick reminder, if you want early access to our episodes, bonus content every month, and no annoying ads like this one, you can have all of this by becoming a supporter. You can try it for free now and cancel anytime. For the best deal, visit faithfullyfantasy.com or simply subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for instant access. Don't miss out and become part of our community.
Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of it. It helps more fantasy lovers find us, and it's one of the easiest ways to support what we do. A quick tap and you've made our day.
And now, without further ado, let's enter the map tent.
Picture this. Fisher is on his knees, battered and bloody, before Malcolm and his surprise sibling entourage, Belikon and Madra. Turns out, Belikon always knew Madra shut those infamous Quicksilver gates, and he kept the war going just to boost Malcolm's undead head count. Now that the trio's back together, they're basically on a villainous power trip. Malcolm tears up the ultimate magical NDA and frees Fisher to spill the century-old tea on Gilethrai. 20,000 vampires, a sacrificial inferno, and a coin toss that never quite hit the ground, because Malcolm caught the coin. With the city doomed, Fisher made the call to close and burn it, keeping the Fae from joining Malcolm's army and earning himself a lifetime ban on telling anyone the truth. Malcolm, not to be outdone, built a labyrinth and hid the coin at its heart, surrounding it with tormented souls Fisher had tried to save. We find out that Fisher's exile was spent getting his steps in, searching that labyrinth for the coin so he could put it on the ground, end the suffering of the people of Gilethrai, and challenge Malcolm anew. But story time is soon over. Fisher snatches solace, makes himself a belikobab, and mayhem erupts. Cue a giant demon spider, a mad dash through shape-shifting walls, and a pile of coins that would make any trickster proud. Only the real coin is silver, and Malcolm can't touch the stuff without getting scorched. As the center of the maze turns into a supernatural showdown, Ceres gets her own quest within a quest, complete with Quicksilver Satnav, a dramatic mate declaration, and a literal dive into a dead spider demon for the prize. We get family drama, undead theatrics, and Carrion being Carrion. Just another day in the labyrinth.
Wow, can you believe that after this one we had just one more and we are done with the deep dive of this book? We're getting ready for it. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's getting ready now to the end of everything. And of course, after this, we start getting ready for Brimstone.
I know, and I've read the first few chapters of Brimstone, and honestly, you are in for a treat. You haven't read it yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
It's so good. If anyone doesn't know, that Callie Hart was giving away copies of the first few draft chapters. I think there's 3 chapters, or there's the prologue and a couple of chapters, and it's just really good.
Yes, maybe we can do like a bonus special or too much spoilers about it.
We can do we could do a spoiler-free bonus episode.
Just maybe like a week before.
Yeah.
Or Brimstone. So.
Yeah, we are sworn to secrecy on it because it says you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
So managed to keep it a spoiler-free so far. So we'll do a spoiler-free review of it.
Yes,
just to get people excited.
That's one of the reasons I haven't read it, because I didn't want to spoil it by mistake.
Nah, you won't. You know, it's very clear what is Brimstone and what isn't.
Yes. So now let's go to the fine print, the part of the show where we scour the pages for clues of what is to come. Chapter 40.
Introductions. So the title, obviously talking about Malcolm introducing himself in the book, but also about Belikon and Madra and their real personality. So this is the first, I mean, we know Madra's bad, we know Belikon's bad, we know Malcolm's bad, but this is the first time we know that they're actually in cahoots. They're working together.
Yes, it's not just only they're working together, because turns out since they're family, we still don't know how, or if it's actually
true. Or if
true.
they are, yeah.
Yes.
I have theories.
I mean, it's not really like a joke, because it's a human affair and a vampire.
Yeah, walking into a bar. Oh, everyone will be like, no, not the joke segment again from last week. They were good jokes.
Okay, so we're going to start with this chapter, and it's obviously doing the introductions. So Malcolm is the one who is introducing himself. He is talking to Sarahs, but also he's talking to Lloreth. And the thing that I thought was really interesting here, because when he was talking to Lloreth, he said, because your stature, you must be one of the Kingfisher Lupus Proelia. So what does it mean? The people who are from the Lupus Proelia are taller than the rest of the Fae? What he says, this reference.
For his stature, well, I think they're actually wolves. I can't shake the feeling that they're actually shapeshifters. I think there might be something about their appearance which gives it away. But because we're having the story from Ceres's point of view, she doesn't recognize it. She doesn't know the difference. And so there's something else that Madra says later that just for me like seals the deal that Kingfisher at least is from a family of shapeshifters.
Yeah.
And they're called the Lupoproelia. They're called the wolves. There's a lot of symbolism around wolves. We know that shapeshifters exist because there's explanation of shapeshifters that become seals in the bar. I just believe they're wolves.
Do you think it's going to be like the wolf from Twilight? There's going to be maybe giant wolves?
Yeah, but I think it might have been part of the curse. I wonder if they were shapeshifters and there's somehow a curse on them that stops them turning into wolves right now. And they'll break the curse and they'll be able to shapeshift again.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it. I don't know how Lloreth became part of the Lupoproelia because he was found in the street, wasn't he? And he was like almost dead. I wouldn't necessarily have thought that all of a sudden he was a wolf, but he went through this, like he trained and he trained. Mm-hmm. He was small, he was skinny. And then something happened and he managed to cross Omnimerin, the mountain, and he was like a warrior at that point.
Yeah.
He either there's a curse or maybe he crossed Omnimerin as a wolf. Maybe that's how he did it.
Yeah.
Something happened and turned him into a wolf.
Yeah, I think what is clear is that it's not something that maybe is because your bloodline or because of family thing is something that you have to do or you have to go through, like maybe to earn it, to be one of Fisher's wolves.
Yeah, well that is what it feels like with Lloreth. But with Fisher, it feels like it's from its dad.
Yeah.
And they did the ceremony with Ceres. They said, my blood in thanks. And they had like basically turned her into a member of the Lupo Paralia. What does that mean for her? Is she actually like half fae, half vampire, a little bit wolf? Like, what's going on? But
mix.
I know it seems like insane, but it's not actually that insane. Normally, when you have vampires, you also have wolves. And I don't think they're werewolves. I think they're
Proper wolves.
like a shifter.
Yes. Also, Malcolm said that he knows that one is not Ramfus because he met Ramfus before. So I was wondering, maybe it's something that we need to be concerned about it, or it's something that maybe it's just because constantly see Ramfus in the front line attacking.
I think he constantly sees him. I mean, we were there when he was there the other day. Although so was Lloreth, he didn't meet him.
Yeah, but it's the fact that he knows him by name.
I think he's spoken to him across the river, just like he spoke to them last time across the river. But there are only... That to me shows that there are only 2 other males. So there's Kingfisher, Laura, Renfus. There's no other men unless Malcolm has met the others, because he's like, well, I know you're not Renfus, so you must be Lloreth, which means there's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
Then there's Danya, but in the ballad of the Adjan Gate, it's Kingfisher and his 6.
Yeah.
So
we haven't met the other ones.
who were the other 2?
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been Mirel, could have been one of them.
Yeah.
But who was the other one? And that's the question.
Yeah, like if still alive or...
Don't know. Yeah. I think they're wolves, though.
Yeah. Obviously, the other revelation in this part is when Madra, Belikon are next to Malcolm, and they start to call each other brothers. And this is something that Sarah's can't comprehend, like why she's human. The other one is a fae, the other one is a vampire. How can they be brothers?
Do you want the unhinged theory?
Always.
So, the only other time we hear talk of my brothers and sisters comes from Zareth, the god of chaos at the end. He says, my brothers and sisters won't be able to find you if you are something new, something never seen before, aka half a vampire, half a fae. And they're now saying my brother's sister, brother, sister. Belikon literally says, you cannot kill us. We are gods. And I just have this feeling that it's one of those times where Callie Hart's just going to be like, well, I told you so.
From the
I literally spelt it out on the page. We are gods. And I just think that they could be gods.
Yeah.
Could be Zara's brothers and sisters, but maybe their brothers and sisters, like their brothers and sisters gone bad. And we know that the Quicksilver doesn't really care that much about evil. It says evil and good are 2 sides of the same coin. It is what it is. You get good, you get evil. So, and it's just that's the only other main time where we hear about brothers and sisters being talked about in that way. So I wonder if they're gods.
I'm not sure about it because it seems that by the end, Sarah killed Malcolm.
Did she though?
But there's a part as well in this chapter and this episode when we're going to be talking about it. When Belikon says that to kill us, you have to kill all of us. So you can't just kill one because it's like
so they come
all
from
connected.
The same source.
Yes, so I don't know how to take it here, but for me, what I was thinking is because it seems that Malcolm was the one who was looking for immortality, and that's why he turned into a vampire because he was the first one, and I think there's a reason for that. He was looking for this. But Madra, she is being in Evelia and Silver City, Savarian, for thousands of years, I think. So it's the same as a fae. But it seems that she is not a fae. But however, she's calling Malcolm and Belikon. At some point, all of them, they were fae. So I don't know if maybe it's Madra who's using like a glamour or something to hide that she is actually a fae, and there's a reason that she had to leave that realm.
Could be.
And maybe they're actually brother, like siblings from the same family, but from long time ago, and then they start to take like different paths.
Could be.
But here is when Sarah start to tell them how it's possible that she's here because Madra was the responsible to close the Quicksilver. That everything was her fault. Belikon said that yes, that she did. We know that, but she did it because we tried to kill her as well.
Yeah, she says, you sent that beast through to kill me.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that makes me think that Finran, not Fenway, there's a bit of an error, isn't there?
Yeah.
Finran, Kingfisher's dad, was the beast that he sent through. I don't know why he was sent through. We don't know whether he was sent through or whether he went through by himself and also took baby Dianthus, or whether he was sent through and he also took baby Dianthus at the same time in secret.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the fact that he said you sent that beast through.
Yeah. It seems there's like a first clue to tell us that yes, Finran was as well maybe a wolf, like Fisher.
I'm so excited. I hope so. I'm hoping there's
gonna have a fight between werewolves or wolves against vampires. This kind of like a classic. And
well,
stories.
I feel like maybe this is like the wolf's redemption. I don't know. I was definitely Team Edward. I wasn't Team Jacob. But now, if Kingfisher's a wolf, I would be Team Kingfisher. So I'd be on the side of the wolf.
I was thinking more about Underworld.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Underworld was more the vampires. They were using the wolves or the werewolves, and then the werewolves just rebel against the vampires, and this fight starts. So I don't know why.
The Wolf King is a book that I've recently read. It's really good. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a history of werewolves in there that is just super cool. I don't know if it is already in folklore, if it's based on that, or whether she's come up with it. But yeah, the Wolf King's story of how werewolves came about is super cool. And like, I could see something similar being the case in Quicksilver.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
So, in this scene, we see as well, there are guards from the Winter Palace, and they start to take Sarah so she can't move. And Sarah said that she can see this guard, they feel maybe ashamed with everything that's happening, but they're still doing whatever Belikon wants, even when they can see clearly that Belikon is with their enemy. So I wonder if maybe these guards, maybe they did kind of like a oath with the king, like a blood oath, just to, giving like loyalty to the king. And then because he did this, they're submitting to Belikon's orders, no matter what.
Yeah, that's cool. Like that checks, doesn't it, with like doing some kind of ritual.
Yeah, because if you are the king, maybe you can say, if you want to be my guard, you have to like make an oath that you're going to be loyal to me, and then you're it's my king, so I'm gonna be loyal, but you don't know what is in the background,
and otherwise you die.
Yeah,
that kind of is a clever way to justify why people in service might act an awful way, and how, because it's quite topical at the moment actually, if like in the world where you might have a dictator type leader and they implement policies and the army or the guard or like the civil guard or whatever follow those. And after the war, there were the Nuremberg trials, where the Nazi officers were prosecuted, and essentially, like, because my boss told me to, is not a reason. Like, you will not get away with that. So, it's really clever that in that it's a moral dilemma, isn't it? You die or you do it, and I mean, in a lot of these cases, like, you would think that people would rather die than treat people in that way.
I definitely think that maybe something like this is happening because otherwise, why Sarah will say that this girl will feel like ashamed about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because they had no option. It's because they had to.
Well, they have an
follow
option.
that.
The other option is that they break the oath and they die.
Hmm.
Yeah. I like that. It's a clever theory.
Yes. But then here, Belikon wants to tell to everyone what the Fisher had done in Gilderoy. And he says that, okay, let's do something better. Let's go to make Fisher to tell to everyone what happened there. And they release him from the oath.
The magical non-disclosure agreement.
Yes. And now he has all the power to tell all the story that what happened there. And that is the end of the chapter.
Yeah. So I like the Madra bit for me. The first time I read it was a big twist. I didn't see that coming. I knew that Madra was bad, but I thought she was some weird, like, crackpot human who had managed to harness the power of, I don't know, infinite life.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly through one of the alchemists, when we learned that there was 3 branches of alchemy, and one of them is the search for immortality.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like that hit me. That was a big twist.
I had to say that I wasn't sure how to take it the very first time when I was reading this. Not that I wasn't shocked. I was more like confused, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like what she's doing here, mixing all the bargains together." So I thought this either gonna be really good or it's gonna be like really bad.
Where did you land in the end?
In the end, I thought it was really clever, everything that she was doing there. So I was satisfied with how all the stories start to develop from that.
The interesting bit, though, is we don't know where she is now. And we don't know where Belikon is.
Yeah, we know that both of them, they escape by the end. But there's so many questions, they're still there.
Yeah.
Memoirs of Luzbel. She loved him. She lost him. And he came back. But wasn't completely him. She feared him. She fought him. But she fell for him. Memoirs of Luzbel. Now available on Amazon.
Okay, chapter 41.
Killer's right.
So obviously this is just the name of the city. I did do some like digging around to see if I could find any like etymology for the name Gilethrai. There was some like potential links to Arthurian legend again, but nothing substantial. Like it was it feels like a genuinely made up fantasy name. So I couldn't find anything.
For me, it reminds me like Gillette, but you just add extra words.
Gillette, like the razors.
Like the razors, yeah. Or cutting or something. I don't know.
Maybe Callie Hart was like in the bathroom and she was like, I've got to think of a
city.
name. I need Gillette.
Gillette, right. Yeah.
That'll do. No, I like it as a name. It's hard when you get a G because you never know if it's Gilethrai or Gilethrai.
Yeah.
So I don't really know, but I just say Gilethrai.
Yeah. It's not in the book, like the pronunciation, or it is. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, there is a pronunciation guide, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think the audiobook says Gilethrai. Gilethrai?
Yeah.
Apologies. People can correct us if we get it wrong.
We start the chapter with Fisher has been released from his out, and he started to walk into Sarah's and Lloreth and Carrion. They are all together. Sarah's is when he sees Fisher so close. That's when she realizes how bad he is. But even Lloreth is surprised about like what they done to you, brother. And Fisher just said, I think they call it payback, isn't it, Haron? And Haron, it was like, yeah, I should kill you, but they didn't let me, or something like this. And I found it surprising because Haron never gave me that impression that he was that strong. And I was wondering what happened here? Did he all by himself, like, manage to beat or capture Fisher? Or it was just maybe Fisher surrendering when he was just beat up in the floor? Then Aaron just came to just
Yeah.
keep, like, hitting and kicking and
Yeah,
all
that's
the
a
stuff.
really good point. I don't know the answer to that. I feel like Fisher shouldn't be losing to Harren.
Yeah, because Aaron lost against Sarah. I don't want to take credit of Sarah because she is really strong and she managed to kill some guards in her city. But Fisher is really strong in comparison with Sarah. So I find it like really strange that Harren was there, like the responsible
Yeah,
to
I
make
do.
Fisher this way.
I don't get Harren. I mean, we can talk about him a little bit later when we get to his like dramatic monologue. But I don't. I mean, we're not supposed to get him. He's got to be Fae. He's got to be. I don't know. There's something about Harren. Anyway, Fisher is now free to speak. He starts the story. There were 20,000 feeders going to or heading for Gillethrai. Fisher realizes he can't do anything, so he went after Malcolm. He was trying to kill Malcolm? Or was he trying to negotiate? He was trying to kill him.
I think he said that he wants to kill Malcolm, but the interesting part for me is why? Just because revenge, or maybe it's because if he kills the head of the vampires, all the vampires that are belong here, they will die as well. And if it's like that, why didn't happen when Sarris kills Malcolm?
I don't think it can, because then they would have all died when Sarris killed him. So I don't think that's right.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because Fisher said that I had nothing else to do here, because Gilroy, they had like a celebration. Everyone was in the center, and then all the feeders went after them.
They need to cancel the public holidays, because that's what happened at the Adjun Gate as well. They were all having a party.
Yeah.
It's like Ballard is lucky that there was nothing happening on their festival day. So I think maybe the reason he would have gone to kill him is because if he killed him, he would have become the boss and he would have been like, stop.
Yeah.
Because then he would have commanded them to stop.
Yeah, that's true. There's another solution there. He will turn into the new king.
Yeah, and then happy days. He would turn Sanazroth into not the charred wasteland that it is, but like party town.
Yeah. But when he went in this journey to find Malcolm, he got a really bad surprise, and his Belikon was dead. And Fisher says that I found the bastard that murdered my mother. And then Belikon started to say that, yeah, I just did it because say like bitch or whatever.
Adina, his mom, Mummy Kingfisher.
She's supposed to be like the most powerful oracle, but she was lying to him all the time. So he killed her. And Fisher said, my mother will never lie to you, even if she tried. So I think...
Even if her life depended on it, she would have had to have told him the truth.
Yes, which means that obviously Edina told something to Belikon.
He just didn't like
he
it.
Didn't believe her. And it's obviously for him like, no, that has to be a lie. That is not possible. So what could it be? Because I think maybe the potential lie could be that maybe she said to him there will come a time when the new queen or Sandorat will come after you or something. And then he was like, no.
My son will kill you?
Yeah.
Because I think ultimately Kingfisher will be the one that ends Belikon's life.
Yes, and because they had this belief that they will never die, that's not possible. So he was like, no, that's just bullshit.
Yeah, I think it probably was something about his future in terms of like how his life would end. Yeah. It's so interesting though, because she obviously told him something he didn't like.
Yes.
And he thought she was a liar, but... he would have known she was an oath-bound fae. Like, he would have known that she made the oath and that she could only tell the truth.
Yeah, make a test, maybe. Ask her for something that he will know if I is lying or not. And then he will know as well.
Yeah, but how could that work? Because I could lie to you about something I'm not lying to you about anything, but I could lie to you about something. I could be like, I didn't eat your chocolate. Like, you don't have any chocolate. But
I think one of the tests about like oracles as well was like you put like some boxes with like an animal, like a snake or a scorpion or something. If you're an oracle, you will find it. So you say, okay, put the hand in the box when there's nothing. They put it, and if it's correct, they taken data away, and they do it like that until in the end there's just two, and then one of them had the animal, and the other one is empty, and that's how they test if.
Yeah, but you can't test
true.
if somebody's lying. So I could like tell the truth about almost everything, but do one lie, and then you wouldn't like. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you can test for lies. Am I being stupid?
Well, for me, it's more about the fey world when they know that maybe some of them they can't lie, or they don't like to lie.
No, they
I don't
can't.
know.
They physically
They
can't.
physically can't. So we come to the point when Fisher says that he found out that Belikon and Malcolm they've been working together before the blood curse, and I think it's here when everything started between these two, and actually was Malcolm that was looking for this way to live forever. So I think between these two, they managed to create the blood curse. Everyone took us a blood curse, but it's what Malcolm wanted. He wanted more power, and he wanted to live forever.
I think they were all maybe working together on it because Madra was also looking to be immortal, and she somehow succeeded. Like Malcolm succeeded. I wonder if they all just did different ways, but they were working together.
Yeah, they may be doing experiments or tests.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're definitely in pursuit of immortality. We know that alchemists, some branches or some alchemists, that was their only study. Some was manipulating Quicksilver, but others were looking for immortality. But Fisher didn't know that Madra was working with them. Did he know that Belikon was working with him? Yeah, because they were in the cave. They were in the maze 100 years ago. Madra wasn't, obviously, because at that point the Quicksilver was closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Fisher was completely surprised, found out that Madra, he was there as well. He knew Madra because at the beginning he wanted to kill her. But I guess he knew there was something about her because she was like an immortal, even when he's supposed to be a human.
I think maybe Belikon told him the truth that Madra closed the gates. She killed. Well, he doesn't know. Nobody knows that Finran is dead. Nobody knows. Although there are clues. I wonder if Belikon lied and was like, Madra killed your father, but I'm going to blame him. And then that's why he wanted to kill her. He wants to kill her now because she spayed his mate.
But Fisher then tells the story about how he got fooled by Belikon and Malcolm with just a little bet, I think. Take it like that because it was kind of like a gamble. So just toss a coin, and if Fisher wins, then they take all the army away from Gilroyd, and if he loses, then there's nothing they can do. And the condition was when the coin hit the floor, then we'll see who wins, but Fisher wasn't allowed to intervene. And then when Belikon tossed the coin, was Fisher the one who's tossing the coin, Malcolm grabs the coin, so the coin never touched the ground.
Yeah.
And Belikon was just laughing about it.
Why did they use a silver coin? Malcolm touched it, but it burnt his skin.
Yeah.
So he must have put it in a pouch like really quickly, like that was me, like, for those that are listening, like pretending to toss the coin between hands. Yeah. Then Madra becomes creepy. Madra like creeps around Fisher, trying to seduce him, doesn't she?
Yeah, so she said that she understands why Malcolm is so like obsessed with him.
I know, this is creepy, isn't it? Malcolm is creepy.
Yes. And obviously, as Cyrus, she doesn't like this because there's a moment where Madra is even like putting her breath.
Her
like,
chest on him, yeah.
Yes.
She's like brushing against him all seductively.
Yes.
Ugh.
And Fisher doesn't like this neither and start to just
Yeah.
dread her.
He says, "Fear the shadows, bitch. I'm made of them." She gets really nervous about him. He's angry because of the fact that, like, he hates her even more now because he found out that she is the reason that Ceres cannot have babies. Allegedly. I mean, I think it's been repaired. Yeah. I suspect it has been repaired. It's like a little bit too obvious, isn't it?
Yes.
Also,
Yeah.
Callie Hart was asked. She was never ever going to say yes or no to this. But one of the audience members, when I saw Callie Hart in Nottingham, said that all the talk about Ceres not being able to have children, is that going to be fixed? And Callie Hart was like, "You're just going to have to read it." Kind of.
Yes.
Well, it sounded like it, but she wouldn't have said yes or no.
So Malcolm, he carries on with the story. And here's when he calls for the very first time Fisher love.
I get, like, you haven't read this book, but a lot of our listeners will have read the book. I'm going to say a name from a book series. And those who know, if you know, you know. I get Amarantha vibes from Malcolm here. Luckily, Adina has protected him, given him the silver gorget and a couple of other things. So Malcolm hasn't actually managed to touch him. But Malcolm appears to be just a big old pervert.
Yes, because he was really into trying to buy Fisher or Fisher buy him, like make him drink from him.
Yeah, well, I think he wanted to turn him into a vampire, didn't he? Make him one of his lords.
I don't know
But
if
I feel like
it was
it's
talking
more-
about vampire or about, the taboo part.
Yeah, well, he was. But in doing that, he would have turned him into one of his lords.
Yeah.
And that is, I feel really bad for Teledeus. But that's what happened to him. Ugh. It just makes me feel gross and sad.
Also, something interesting here, like for the people that instead of reading the book, they were listening to the audiobook, as the Malcolm was asking to Fisher, how long do you stay in the labyrinth or the maze? And Fisher says 55 years. And Malcolm said, "Oh yeah," and after that, 8 years trying to look him for the coin. But this is wrong.
Only makes 63 years, doesn't it?
Yes, because he's supposed to be there 110 years in total. So in the book, this had been corrected, and then Fisher said 102 years.
Yeah. So I read the Kindle Unlimited version, and for some reason, my Kindle Unlimited version is not updating. It's still the original self-published one. Everyone makes mistakes. Like, I just, like, it got fixed. It's fine. And you still hear people complain about the timeline issues, and I think it's people that have read it once and not seen the changes. I think, it's normal, isn't it, for there to be an odd error changed. Yeah, I guess the one timeline thing that there still is that's a bit strange is that reference to Belikon sending Kingfisher through
the Quicksilver when he was maybe like a teenager or something.
Yeah, when the gates should have been closed. That's one that still remains unresolved because that's still in
the book,
the published book as well. Yeah, but at least this has been resolved. So we know that he was in the maze for a total of 110 years. 102 searching the labyrinth for the center, and then 8 in the center.
Yes. Malcolm here is asking to Fisher why he left. Because it's been a lot of time when Malcolm was trying to help him, apparently. But suddenly something happened that Fisher wanted to leave. And then it's when Carrion intervened and said, "Oh, must be because you're boring him as hell."
Boring him to shit, yeah.
And then Malcolm says to Carrion that he doesn't like him. There's something off. about him.
Yeah.
And I think Malcolm doesn't realize who is Carrion, but he notices or sense there's something maybe in the blood.
Yeah, he can probably smell.
Maybe for Malcolm, he's just like a big garlic thing.
Yeah, bad breath. Yeah. But he's the thing is, it was so long ago, and he genuinely believes that the Dianthus line has gone, so he's got nothing to worry about. So Fisher tells Malcolm that Solus, he heard his father's sword calling to him. That is not what he did, though. He heard his mate calling for him. And we find this out in the maze POV, which is like my favourite POV chapter to date. But we'll cover that in the special episode on the POVs. And then, did you like my Bella Kebab reference? We finally got to the Bella Kebab part. Yes. Fisher makes himself a Bella Kebab, sticks Solus through the stomach of Belikon.
Yes.
Through his belly. Belikon's belly. All hell breaks loose. But I just want to ask a question. Is Kingfisher wearing gloves? Or is he okay to touch Solus because there is no... It's currently, like, run out of god power?
I think it's because it has no power. It's supposed to be like a dead sword. So if there's no magic inside to, like, repel whatever is touching it, it shouldn't be just like a regular sword at this point.
So, yeah, but then you suspected that it could slow down time previously.
But I think that's more because I think there's like a synergy between sword and owner. So maybe it's not stronger enough to repel somebody else. Or I don't know if you need to do something to do that as an owner, like put it like a locker or, like insurance. But I think Sarah's as a now, like maybe the owner, and she was the first one to touch that sword and everything started from that. So maybe there's this magic between owner and sword, and then it's when things start happening.
Yeah, but, well, maybe, but then that means that Kingfisher shouldn't have been able to touch it. So I wonder if this is another hint, and I don't want to believe that Fisher's dad is dead. I genuinely, I'm erring to the side that he isn't. But maybe the sword thinks he is, or something. And because we know that Danya's sword got passed down from her dad to her, and the sword was like, fine.
Yeah.
I will, I'm not owned by anyone, but I will let her use me. And then we know that Quicksilver was dormant, but it was there. Possibly Solus is doing the same to Kingfisher because Kingfisher's dad is no longer using it, so it's now been passed down. But Ceres is able to use it because she pulled it out of the Quicksilver. She liberated it, and it's like, yeah, I choose you. No. Or because she's an alchemist and she can touch all the swords, maybe. I just wonder if this is another hint that Finran is actually dead. I hope not, and I don't want to think.
I think Carrions know the answer. Hopefully he will say something later on Brimstone.
Yeah.
He must know, it's Elroy, for example, or something.
Yeah, I wonder if it's either Elroy, which is the number one suspect, or do you know the guy that Carrion was about to do a big deal with before Kingfisher ripped him away? Could be him.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's somebody that we haven't seen in
or maybe
the
it's
pages yet.
The snake oil salesman that's selling things on the street. I think it's Elroy.
Yeah.
Chapter 42.
That'll cost you.
So obviously Harren says this. This is Harren's line, that'll cost you. I think it's also a nod to the fact that they're looking for the coin though, and it will cost you. Oh, this chapter's awful.
Yeah.
This chapter is terrifying. Not awful as in bad, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Right. So they head into the labyrinth.
Yes.
Ceres. Ceres is fighting against Harren. And she says he's slower now. She's goading him. And this is to your point, he can't be that slow because he managed to beat up Kingfisher, unless Kingfisher just wasn't trying. Like,
Yeah, that's the strange part. Like I said, maybe he was already on the floor, and Harren just came just to just keep hitting, because here, Cyrus said that he's not as fast when he was alive.
Harren says Madra gifted him with eternity.
Mm-hmm.
How? Like, she obviously figured it out and then gave him the secret as well.
Yeah, I don't know how to take this one, because when he says this, is talking right now as a maybe zombie, that now he is immortal in this way, or he was talking before that. So he knew that even when after he died, and he won't completely die, he will come back.
Yeah, but if you go back to where Kingfisher is like talking to Madra and scaring her, terrifying her, he says something like, I will slit your throat and you will live on. Yeah, he says something like, you will live on nothing but spirit and you can't pass on. And the way that he's talking to her there is like, he knows that she's given her soul to somebody and she will be the one that is floating around in eternity. Yeah. So I think Kingfisher knows a bit more about Madra than he lets on. And I wonder if there's a link there. Like, do they share part of a soul, Harren and Madra? It doesn't seem to stop you from dying, though. It just seems... It doesn't seem to stop you losing your body. You just can't pass on to the next bit. You can't do anything.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on between Madra and Harren, because even after this fight between Harren and Cyrus, when Cyrus wins and breaks Harren's neck, Madra, she starts to like screaming, like shocked with grief.
Yeah, she's shaking with grief.
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
Because
she obviously cares about him.
In the end, he was just a soldier. So why she cares that much for him?
Yeah, he was obviously not just a soldier.
There's definitely something else there.
Interesting. Anyway, so they go inside the labyrinth, and this bit is the terrifying bit.
Yes, when they meet Mortal, there's this giant demon. There's kind of like have fake parts.
Is he half? Yeah, he's half fae, half spider.
Yeah, it has like the face and the torso.
But he doesn't have a face. He just has a big mouth with loads of teeth.
Yes, and has no hair. So
it feels like something from Stranger Things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It was weird. The first time I read this, like, I was so surprised there was vampires. So when I found out there was vampires, I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was a vampire book. And then this bit happened, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. So I suspect that there's going to be loads of demons that we meet in Brimstone or beyond. Like, this isn't going to be the only demon. Although we do know that Malcolm just cooked up this maze. He had this power to just invent the maze, which is interesting, because is it real? Like the bathtub in Ceres's, when she's like come out of the forge and Fisher just...
That's something that I really want to like ask to Kelly Hart. Like, okay, all these illusions, it's just that illusion, or actually they can kill you. Like, if
did Ceres really have a bath? Well, it can kill you, can't it? Because
it's like, okay, what we're talking about illusion, because illusion is something about that is not there. That's like fake.
But in the Kingfisher POV chapter, when he conjures this bathtub, he says it'll be there until she doesn't need it anymore. So it's like it's there, and then all of a sudden when you don't need it, it's not
but
there.
I think he does the same, like maybe with clothes or with everything around. So is that what? It's just it looks, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like when he was fixing the forge as well.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Cool magic. But it can't see. It can only sense movements. It can't hear anything either. So they can talk, which is good. Because imagine if you couldn't communicate. And poor Carrion is on the floor and he has to like slide along.
It's like a Spider-Man, but on the floor.
Because it can't distinguish between the wall and the person. So it thinks it's just there's an object. Unless the wall moves.
Yeah.
Then it can't sense it.
When everything goes wrong here, they had to act quick. Between all of them, they kill this demon. But then Fisher said that, well, he will respawn.
Yeah.
So.
But she can hear the Quicksilver. She senses the Quicksilver at this point.
Yeah.
And when we get to the end of the chapter, we find out that the coin is
inside.
In the back of his throat. So it's interesting here. It's like a little bit of foreshadowing that you come back to.
Yes. But yeah, Ceres is just leading the way because she can feel the Quicksilver. She can feel the pull. And they go to this room when it's just millions of silver coins. And somehow Malcolm, Madra, and Belikon appears here as well. And Belikon is now without even a scratch. So the Belikon kebab, did you say before?
Belikebab.
Belikebab, yeah. That is not happening here anymore. And here's when he says that if you want to kill us, or you want to kill one of us, you have to kill all of them.
Yeah, he says we are the triumvirate. We are three crowns, one source.
So what does it mean? That Malcolm is still alive, or he will come back to life?
I think they're gods. Yeah. I don't think we have seen the last of Malcolm.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to come back as himself, but I just can't see how they say that. How Belikon came back, but Malcolm can't come back. Is it to do with like you got to chop off their heads because we know that she chopped off his head?
Yeah, but how do we know that it's not going to regenerate another head, or the head is not going to regenerate another body?
We don't know, but it does appear that Ceres is queen and of the vampires now. So
yeah,
she's about to be crowned, unless something else happens where Malcolm comes back. Does anyone know any lawful reason why?
I think there's going to be another, like, not giving too many spoilers about Harry Potter, but we're going to have another, like, Voldemort moment. They're just going to come back, but from scratch, kind of.
Well, it does feel to me like killing the big boss in the first book is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So either he's not dead, or 3 books, 3 villains. You've got Malcolm that goes in the first book, Belikon in the second, or Madra in the second, Belikon or Madra in the third. And I know that we're hoping for 5 books, but the other 2 are different POVs. So one of them is Carrion's and one of them is someone else's. So you just don't, like those 3 villains, 3 books, that could work. Otherwise, we might end up in this Rebecca Lloreth situation where I know we can't spoil this book, although most of the people listening will have already read Fourth Wing, where
one of the main villains
come and go. Villains come and go. I just can't shake the feeling that he can't be dead. Belikon literally says, if you want to kill him, you have to kill all of us. And she didn't kill all of us. Yeah, I just can't believe that he's fully gone.
Yeah, I have the same feeling.
There's an interesting exchange when Belikon comes back, and he says to Kingfisher, I wanted to kill you the moment your mother whelped you, dog. And whelped is a word that you use with puppies. Like, puppies are whelped, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to add this to the Kingfisher as a...
I mean, Belikon called him dog. So.
Yeah. There's so much stuff. But the fact that he says, I wanted to kill you the moment your mother whelped you, dog. 2 things. 1, that's a reference to a dog, aka a wolf. Not a werewolf, a wolf. And 2, Belikon shouldn't have known his mother when Kingfisher was born. So that suggests that Belikon had this plan all along.
Yeah.
He wanted to kill him the moment he was born. So, he only arrived at the Winter Palace when he was 10. So, or 11. Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
So that means Belikon knew of him 10 years before that.
It seems that everything has been planned between Malcolm and Belikon, because Belikon is not supposed to be the right king or Ivelia. So I think has to be with Malcolm's help or intervention that he managed to go there. So
Well, they killed
the
Carrion's
Dianthus,
dad, yeah.
yes. So has to be they knew everything about what's going on in the kingdom and people around as well. And I think Finran was a really important character about, somebody with wealth or somebody important
Well, he was
with
a
land.
lord, wasn't
Yes.
he?
So I think that was always maybe the plan. And probably Edina was already a famous oracle by this point.
Yeah. Well, we know that Finran put wards around around Carlish to stop Belikon or any of his supporters getting through. Maybe that was to protect Kingfisher because he knew Belikon wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
Possibly because another oracle had said he would be the one to kill him. Like we've got a Voldemort situation. But he couldn't manage to do it, or he couldn't do it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Carrion is the one who goes in front and starts to be annoying for Malcolm until Malcolm has enough and he just attacks. And something that caught my attention as well here that the Malcolm, when he's going to attack or he's going to bite, all the teeth turning like pointing. It's not just the fangs, so it's like the full mouth. It's just like fangs basically. And he started drinking from Carrion. And Sarah was like, "Oh no, we need to do something." But Fisher was thinking, it's too late. It's been beaten by Malcolm.
Fisher did try and stop him, though.
Yes, but then something is wrong here. And Malcolm is like, what's going on? What's this? And then Karen is like, you should have let me.
You taste like garlic.
Yes, and then is when the other plot twist of this book comes. And Carrion Dianthus, firstborn son of Rorik and Amelia.
Amelia, yeah.
Yes. And everyone, even me, was holy fucking God.
Yeah. Did you remember the name Dianthus when you read this the first time?
Yes. I remember that Dianthus was like the cure or somebody important.
Yeah.
Sarah's didn't.
Yeah,
Like,
Sarah's didn't.
Diantha, why sounds familiar?
Yeah. And this is so interesting because this means the stories that were passed down from Carrion's caretakers, from his the people that took care of him, told him that he was the thing that could defeat the vampires. Because otherwise he wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known his blood was special. He wouldn't have known to goad Malcolm into biting him. But he knew what he had to do in that moment. And this is incredibly brave. Carrion to this point has not shown that he is brave, really. He's shown that he is chill and he takes things on the chin.
He's a smart mouth.
Yeah, that he's shown that he's brave in that he went to smash the ice on the river, on the Darn. But he is literally standing there prepared to die to kill this man because he doesn't know. He knows that he'll kill Malcolm, but it might be a situation where it's well, I'm going to die, I'll take him with me. Kind of like a suicide mission. He is incredibly brave here.
Yeah.
And part of why, everyone loves his sense of humor, but probably part of why everyone loves him as well.
Yes.
He's willing to sacrifice himself.
Yeah, from day one, he was one of my favorites. I used to think at the beginning that he was the Kingfisher that everyone was talking about. I wasn't that wrong, I guess. A fate in the end.
I knew he wasn't because he was described as having red hair, and the picture on the front of the book was not red hair. So yeah, I paid attention to the front cover of the book. But Lloreth and Kingfisher share this holy fucking gods moment, don't they? And then they're anyway, Kingfisher's all of a sudden he's you got to find the coin. Is the coin here? And it's he's switched really quickly from the one to the other. But this is a huge revelation, and Kingfisher's got to just keep going. And he's where's the coin?
Yeah, of course, because it's not just the fact that Carrion is a fae. It's the fae that can change everything.
The fae that also his dad carried with him. What are the chances? I mean, it's a story, so the chances are pretty high. But there's a reason Kingfisher brought him back.
Yeah, so Fisher asked to Cyrus to find the coin because the coin is not there with those million of coins. They're just fake. There's an illusion. So she returns following this thread. But it comes a point when she starts to getting lost and she's asking help for the Quicksilver. The Quicksilver doesn't want to help. And then she said, then I can help my mate. Oh, the Kingfisher.
Yeah,
Fisher.
Kingfisher.
But then they have like an agreement.
Yeah, it asks for just a small favor,
Mhm.
but it won't tell her what it is. It's like
Yes.
red flag. I mean, it's okay. It all works out in the end. But there is a bit where she doesn't realize she accepts him as her mate,
Mhm.
and she only notices really what she's done when she reaches into and she sees all the tattoos on her hand.
Yes. The Quicksilver tells to her that they are inside the demon, the mortal that is still dead.
Ugh.
So she needs to be quick because, the Kingfisher said that this beast can come back to life at any time.
Respawns.
Yes. So it's looking for the coin that is inside the throat, and she's describing like all the sensations, like putting the hand inside, and it just completely
Gross.
disgusting. Gross, yes. But she gets the coin, and then she hears a voice behind her and says, "You better give me that coin, girl." And it's Malcolm.
And it's the end of the chapter.
Yeah, chapter.
It's getting, well, I mean, it's just like getting close to the end, isn't it?
Yes, next week.
I think we got loads there. I have just like, there's just been one theory that is like a whole thread through this chapter. So I don't think these 3 chapters. So I don't think it's going to be a surprise what is going into my Adina's sketchbook this week. So Adina's sketchbook. This is the part of the show where we channel our inner eye as Mummy Kingfisher would and put our oracle skills to the test in the hope that we get at least something right for Brimstone. What is your favourite theory this week?
My favorite is the Adina told to Belikon there will be a new queen, and this will be maybe the beginning or the end for everything for him as a king or Ivelia, and he didn't believe her.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It won't be a surprise to you that my favourite theory this week is that the Lupa Aurelia are wolf shifters. At the very least, Finran was/is, but we've just had so many clues around the whelping, the fact that Belikon calls Kingfisher a dog. Madra says you sent that beast through to kill me, and just like there's wolves everywhere. So
Yes.
I am convinced that there are wolves.
We see them maybe Kalihardis like putting everything together in this saga and this story. So we have fae, we have vampires. Why not?
Yeah.
Like shapeshifter or werewolves. Yeah.
Yes. I don't think they're werewolves. I think they're wolves though. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe. Have we ever seen Kingfisher on the full moon? We'll have to go back and check. Okay, so sticking with the theme of precognition, let's look at the chapters we're going to cover next week. 3 again next week.
And it's going to be the last ones. So we're going to be with chapter 43, Another Way, chapter 44, Access, and chapter 45, Choose Wisely.
So the last 3 chapters of the main book, and then we'll be able to dive into the Kingfisher POV chapters. Questions from the Quicksilver. This is the part of the show where we listen hard to the ethereal whispers of the Quicksilver and dig deep into our souls for the answer. So last week we asked, if you had the chance to escape for one night only before doing what you felt was an impossible task, where would you go?
I think I will go to Japan, like one of the more classic cities, the one that had been like the same for hundreds of years. It's one of those places that it's like I feel that I don't want to die without seeing with my own eyes, because I see it like on TV or in other places, and it just looks beautiful. It's something that calls me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because you'd like want to cram in something before doing the impossible task?
Yeah, it's something that it's just like maybe to keep the bucket list and say that, okay, just with this one, I'm feeling
Yeah. So I would do the opposite. I would stay at home.
just stay at home.
Yeah, it's where I feel safe. It's where I would be with my family. I would just it would bring me calm.
Mm-hmm.
I would spend my last night before the impossible task at home. And I would be classic me and not go to bed. I would stay up so late and just enjoying being at home for what I thought was the last time.
Yeah.
And the hope that tomorrow would never come.
Really deep.
Yeah. I am a serial self-sabotager because I don't want to end my day because I like my daytime. So I go to bed so late. This week, so to be answered next week, what would be the most terrifying demon you could meet in the labyrinth?
It's gonna be a hard one because with that spider,
It's already pretty bad.
Yeah.
You got to make it worse. And that is all for this week. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Faithfully Fantasy Pod and come and join the conversation. We'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, questions, and comments. So send them our way.
And with this, we have just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things Quicksilver.
We'll see you next week for our deep dive of chapter 43 to 45 and, of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye!